Okay, very good.
Commissioner, I have a letter after the meeting, but I need a letter of support.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
very good.
did
Did you contact Matt to come pick it up?
I'm gonna,
Yeah. You know what? I'll tell him right now.
yeah, okay, I'll have it as soon as you'll sign it. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Thank you. Thank you.
You don't know if I turn it on, do you?
Oh, blast it on. Only if I can turn this one.
Yeah.
Just wait to hear a beep beep, or are we good to go?
Nope, we're recording. We're ready.
Okay, everybody, please rise. Start out with our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll begin the day with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Okay. Our next public workshop will be Tuesday, June 13th in this room at 10 a.m. And our next regular meeting will be Wednesday, June 14th, also in this room at 10:30 a.m. next week. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Here.
Ms. Frenchco. Mr. Malloy.
Here.
Item number 1, to dispense with reading the minutes of the regular meeting dated May 24th, 2023, and accept and approve the video recording of the May 24th, 2023 Commissioners' regular meeting as the official meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 2, dispense with reading the minutes of the regular meeting dated June 1st, 2023, and accept and approve the video recording of the June 1st, 2023 Commissioners' regular meeting as the official meeting minutes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 3, to approve the bills.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 4, to approve additional appropriations.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 5, to transfer appropriations.
Motion to approve.
Second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 6, to receive the amended certificate of the County Budget Commission, number 9-2023.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 7, to authorize the Board of Commissioners of Trumbull County, Ohio, to write a letter of support to the Federal Home Loan of Cincinnati Affordable Housing Program in support and partnership of Trumbull Neighborhood Partnership 2023 Emergency Home Repairs Application to the AHP program. The letter confirms that on December 7th, 2022, Trumbull County awarded TNP a grant in the amount of $1 million for emergency home repairs. Of this award, Trumbull County supports and approves leveraging $50,000 as a committed funding source towards this AHP application.
Motion to approve?
Second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 8, to close the road listed, that's Braceville Robinson Road, located in Braceville Township. Closing dates, Monday, June 5th, 2023 through Friday, June 30th, 2023.
Make a motion to approve?
Second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 9, and this is to grant special annual supplier fleet permits, and that's to Norwood Trucking, which is Yukon Industries Incorporated, and JGF Trucking Incorporated.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 10 is to concur with the Trumbull County Engineer to grant the quarterly operator fleet permit, and that's with Oganek Custom Hardwoods Incorporated.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 11, to approve modification number 3 to the engineering agreement with CT Consultants Incorporated for the Mineral Ridge Hydraulic Study Project, County Project Number 2W15. Modification is for an additional $37,000, revising the total contract amount to $670,679.
A motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 12, to authorize the Trumbull County Planning Commission with concurrence from the Trumbull County Sanitary Engineer's Office to accept the irrevocable letter of credit number 442 in lieu of a maintenance bond resolution number 2-2023-9. That's case number P-2023-3. Final plat of Forest Hills Estates, plat number 5 and Skyline Lane dedication, section 36, Howland Township, issued by Farmers National Bank. And this is for a period of 2 years, starting November 21st, 2022 through November 21st, 2024, in the amount of $7,120 for the sanitary sewer improvements completed for Forest Hills plat number 5.
A motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 13, to amend agenda item dated October 13th, 2022, Journal Volume 155, page 25124, changing the name from IBI Group to Arcadis Engineering Services USA Incorporated, and approve a change order in the amount of $1,151.17, increasing the original agreement from $49,500 to $50,651.17, and authorize Denny Malloy to execute said change order for the West Farmington Sanitary Sewer Household Connections Project, funded through the PY 2021 Community Development Block Grant Allocation Program and the PY 2022 Home Sewage Treatment Reserve Program.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 14, to receive and place on file the April 2023 monthly financial report for the Trumbull County Tourism Bureau.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 15 is to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds. And this will be for Johnson Township Fire Department for the EMS power cot and loader. Whereas the county has received a distribution of monies, the ARPA funds from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Whereas Congress passed the act effective March 11th, 2021. And this is in the amount of $26,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
And that resolution supports item number 16, which is to enter into an agreement by and between the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners in Johnson Township to provide the Johnson Township Fire Department with funds towards the purchase of an EMS power cot and loader as fully described in the agreement in Exhibit A and incorporated by reference. And the Board of Commissioners will allocate the sum of $26,000 to the township from the ARPA funds.
Motion to approve.
Second in discussion. I just want to thank the EMS and Emergency Services in Johnson Township and Cortland for bearing with us on this. This grant was requested a long time ago. We had these public meetings last month and we kind of flushed out the ones to the top that we've been sitting on for too long. We're working well with the attorneys to get them approved. And this is just the first of many checks that are going back out into the community. And I also urge the other townships that are out there, as I've stated in previous meetings, get your applications in. We have deadlines on these. There are some townships we have not received any requests for. And I'm sure if they all dug deep and looked at their township and looked at what their needs, there's something that could be helped by these ARPA funds. So please get them in on the internet. If you need help, contact myself, any commissioner, or Mr. Masaki, our special events coordinator, and he'll help you through the process.
Okay, item number
Call the
17.
vote.
Oh, Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 17, to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds. And this is for the Bloomfield Township Green Space. Whereas the county has received a distribution of monies, the ARPA funds from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Whereas Congress passed the act effective March 11th, 2021. This is in the amount, I believe, of $94,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
That resolution supports number 18, which is to enter into an agreement by and between the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners and Bloomfield Township trustees for the Bloomfield to install sidewalks, improve walking paths, and install lamp posts for the health, safety, and enjoyment of green space in the township. And this is in the amount of $94,000.
Motion to approve.
Second that.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Item number 19, to adopt a resolution authorizing expenditure for responding to or mitigating the public health emergency from American Rescue Plan Act funds. This is for the Cortland Community Foundation Incorporated, whereas the county has received a distribution of monies, the ARPA funds from the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021, whereas Congress passed the act effective March 11th, 2021. And this is in the amount of $35,000.
Motion to approve.
Second in discussion on this also. Again, I want to thank Cortland Community Foundation for this. This is a unique grant. This is going to build a mini city park that is entirely ADA accessible and enable children to learn about traffic and public safety through programming by local agencies as well as open to the public. It's a unique spin on a way for families to recreate and with people that have special needs childs or handicapped children. This is going to kind of raise the bar for all other communities to see. So I thank again Community Cortland Foundation for putting this together.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
And that resolution supports number 20, which is to enter into an agreement by and between the Board of Trumbull County Commissioners and the Cortland Community Foundation Incorporated to provide the Cortland Community Foundation with funds towards the development and use of present outdoor space for recreational programs, wellness, and physical activity on current ADA compliant equipment. And that is in the amount of $35,000.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
We just had a public hearing for number 21 at 10:15 today, and that is a resolution granting applicable elected representative approval in connection with the issuance of the County of Franklin, Ohio Healthcare Facility Revenue Bonds, Ohio Living Communities. So I'll just read the first whereas. Whereas Ohio Living Communities, an Ohio nonprofit corporation, the corporation owns and operates hospital facilities as defined in Chapter 140.01 Ohio Revised Code, including without limitation hospital facilities in Trumbull County known as Ohio Living Lake Vista, located at 303 North Mecca Street, Cortland, Ohio, 44410 Lake Vista, or the local facilities.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa,
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes.
Okay, and one more. Our last item for today on the journal is item number 22 to amend agenda item dated May 9th, 2023, Journal Volume 156, page 25695, change order 1 submitted to by Ohio Machinery doing business as Ohio Cat. And this amendment is necessary to correct the total amount to $27,280.07. There was just a typographical error that we're correcting on the journal.
A motion to approve?
Second.
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes. Okay, that concludes our regular agenda business items in record time. And and I'll state again for the record too. It's not because we just whipped through this and rubber stamped anything. We had a great meeting yesterday afternoon. Most of our workshops we have on Tuesdays or the day before the regular meeting are attended by in excess of 20 people. We field presentations at that time. We do the research. There's a couple things even on here that I had to look up overnight to make sure that I was well aware and everything was the way it should be. So it's just when a plan comes together good with preparation. And I want to thank our department heads too. They've really bought into the program we have here with these workshops. They show up, they come prepared, they do their due diligence in advance. So we can come up here and just go through the agenda like this. And basically the work was done yesterday, all the heavy lifting. Now it's just rearranging the furniture and making it look nice. So thank you again, all our department heads for that. And I salute all our county employees for buying into the program we have now as we move forward. I'd also like to state that in yesterday's meeting, we made great progress again on a facility for a new dog pound. We tackled 911's issue. And we hope to have a candidate for director soon and a little cleanup of the building there. And then we had talks yesterday, even last night and this morning on a new facility for the health department that we're looking to move forward on the best we can. So the weather's getting nice outside and I hope everybody enjoys the day, enjoys their weekend this week. Do we have anybody from the floor that has anything for the good and the order of Trumbull County? Commissioner Cantala Mesa.
Commissioner, thank you. Just some housekeeping to begin with. Yesterday we talked about and we approved sending a number of ARPA projects to our attorney, to our legal counsel to weigh in and give us the okay on some of these projects. There was another smaller ticket item that I think we overlooked, and I was looking at them yesterday. The water project in the city of Niles is a very important one on Crandon and Robbins. It's going to benefit a lot of households there. And normally with cities, we typically, they got their own ARPA money and those types of things. They're willing to expend those funds. It's a $300,000 project. They're willing to put up, I believe, $240,000, and they're looking for $60,000 additional. As I mentioned, it'll benefit families and households all through that area. So with your approval, I'd like to at least send that over to legal, Commissioner, if that's okay.
I would second that. Yes.
Thank you. Also, and I promise I won't try to be long-winded, but we have with us Mr. Robert Hotchkiss, who is the AWL board chair. Thank you for attending, Mr. Hotchkiss. We have been in discussions with your board tentatively and both in person, on the phone, and emails. And we're looking at, the board is looking at, approximately 20 acres of land on the northwest portion of the AWL property located at 812 Youngstown Kingsville Road in Vienna Township, obviously. The property in question is currently serving as one of the few dog parks, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Mr. Chairman, but serving as one of the few dog parks owned and operated by AWL. So there's no structure dwelling currently on the property. It's zoned appropriately for potential new construction. The initial discussions I've had with Laura Lynn Shandor, your director out there, have centered around, first of all, the potential for a 100-year lease for $1, and we certainly appreciate that and working with us, and that's a benefit to not only all the animals in Trumbull County, but all the people that are looking to adopt and take part in this, and all our volunteers. That does not include the airspace or the underground. We understand that. The caveats for that would be essentially, what would be a donation of land, would be one of the first things that we discussed was restriping and resurfacing of the entire parking lot, which would be shared by AWL and Trumbull County Dog Pound. So it's not like we would be doing something that wouldn't benefit Trumbull County as well. So one of the second caveats was an agreement for shared services as it related to landscaping and snow removal, and whether or not that would be Trumbull County that would handle that through the contract, through the agreement, or AWL would handle it with a reimbursement of some sort. That can all be discussed. We talked about a construction timeline, as well as mandatory safety measures for the building, cameras, et cetera. We want to make sure that we're being good neighbors and that we're holding up our end of the bargain, and that we're working closely with you. At the end of the day, this is going to be a complex that's going to be a sort of a one-stop shop for adoption and care for the dogs in Trumbull County. So, if you don't like a dog at the Trumbull County Dog Pound, you can adopt one at the Animal Welfare League. So it's going to be a true collaborative effort. So we started spitballing some ideas, especially when it comes to improvements of the property, maintaining the property, how we become good neighbors, obviously the logistics of the lease and all that. So we started to look at that. And the first thing that we have to do as a board, Commissioner, is to get a legal opinion as it relates to just that, the improvements and the maintaining of the property. I don't think it's going to be an issue, obviously, because our facility is going to be on there, and obviously there's going to be a Trumbull County benefit. But whenever you're expending public dollars, as we would be for this, you can make the argument that you're improving a private structure or something like that. That's something that would have to go by legal. So we'd have to make sure that we're crossing all our T's and dotting our I's on that. So that's the first step. Once those legal questions are addressed, and I have them off to Bill Danzo already, the question will be, how do we move this forward, first of all? And how we do that, and talking to Bill and talking to Jim Masaki, we have to secure an architecture firm and I know Baker Bednar was, when we preliminarily talked about this about 4 or 5 years ago, they were the firm that we obtained, and we could potentially do that again. But we'd have to approve that and preliminary drawings and those sorts of things. And then we'd have to sit down with that firm and map out exactly our needs, our wants, how we're going to structure this thing. We have some ideas already. I know Bill Hart has some ideas. I have some ideas. Michelle Goss, our dog warden, has some ideas. And we've already come up with a little preliminary sort of sketch as to what we want. And then, of course, we go out for proposals and do those things as needed. But if we stay under the $50,000 threshold, we can secure the architect for at least preliminary drawings and discussion. So that's where we are on that. I wanted to give everybody an update. We kind of circled back here because we started off with AWL, and we started off with leasing space within the facility. There were some challenges, some obstacles there. So we looked at other properties. They didn't really suit our needs. And here we are back to AWL. And I know that we can make this work. And I know that it's going to be fruitful venture for both Animal Welfare League and Trumbull County. So that's where we're at right now. So step one, getting the opinion from legal, as you guys probably need to check with your legal. I've spoken to the board's attorney as late as yesterday. So I'll get those questions. We got those questions over to Bill Danzo, and then it's a matter of us just securing the architect and moving this thing forward because people have been waiting a long time. And I see. Absolutely, Mr. Hotchkiss, please.
Sir, please come up to the mic.
If you
and be
could come up to the
recognized.
mic, I'm sorry, or else it won't get you on record.
And state your name and title again too, please, sir.
Robert Hotchkiss, member of Trumbull County and a lifelong resident.
And chairman of the Animal Welfare League Board. I'm
And
sorry.
board chair of the Animal Welfare League of Trumbull County.
Thank you.
Like anything, things are easy. What do they call it? Making a baby is easy to conceive, but sometimes hard to deliver. So
Right.
we're kind of in that stage where it's hard to deliver, but I think we're going to get there.
Yeah.
This is such a positive, absolutely positive thing for the dogs and to some degree cats of Trumbull County. As you know, we have somewhat different missions with the pound and Animal Welfare League. Animal Welfare League is really there for the protection of animals. The dog pound is actually there for the protection of population. Where you have strays that may be dangerous and so forth. That's what their purpose is.
Sure.
We've done a lot of investigation into these type of co-joined, if you will, facilities, and it's all been very, very positive. We have a very good example existing in Clark County, Ohio, where the pound and the animal charity group is in the same exact building, sort of like we were looking at originally.
Mhm.
We realized with the amount of property we've got available, I think we're in a much better situation to do that. What this really does, just so everybody understands, is it provides a very good atmosphere for the dogs that are taken in, especially by the pound. We have our own surgical facility on board.
Right.
Which is shared with Kent State. That's where they train their vet techs, one of the few programs like that in Ohio. So we have a massive, as you've seen, operating room with 2 tables going at any time and availability to do preps or probably up to 20 dogs at a time and cats. I mean, we share that facility with both. But it is, this cuts down on transportation, which is always a problem. The dogs are stressed out. If they've been picked up by the dog pound, they're completely stressed out. They're out of their environment. And the same thing when we do rescues, they're stressed out as well. So it's the nicest thing to be able to walk them down the hall or across the parking lot at worst case and be able to perform the necessary surgery to spay or neuter. So it's a very, very positive thing for the county. Second of all, to have it as a campus, I think Commissioner Canalisa said it best. It is one of the things that people look to and say, hey, Trumbull County's leading the way in providing care for stray animals and for animals that need rescue. So we look forward to it, and something that I've been board chair for 7 years, just about to go off. But this goes back to our legacy members back when we were on Brunstetter Road. They always wanted to be able to do this, and it looks like we're close.
Yes.
So I hope we can get all the T's crossed and the I's dotted, and we'll get moving on it. So we're excited about it, and thank you for the opportunity.
As are we.
Any questions? For anybody?
Yeah. Any questions from the public? Yes.
Mr. Pegg, please approach the
Township
mic.
Trustee. Yes. It's in your backyard.
The township had an agreement.
Phil Pegg, Vienna Township Trustee. For the record on the
Had an
audio.
agreement with the Animal Welfare League when they moved into that building, that there would not be any animals housed on the north side of that property. The north side of the property is abuts Sheridan Drive, which are wealthy homes through there. Should something like this go forward, we would expect the county to live up to the same agreement that we've had with the Animal Welfare League, which is there will be no dogs housed out of doors. There won't be odors coming from the building. And again, ours have to comply with basically a C2 designation for the township. In other words, you gotta have it closed by 11 p.m. Okay. Also, since we made the agreement with the Animal Welfare League, we've also adopted some of the recommendations for the Youngstown Air Force Reserve Joint Land Use Study, which means all of your outside lighting is going to have to be LED, and it's all going to have to be compliant with our regulations.
Absolutely.
So, this is the first I heard. Last I heard, I thought you guys were going to the Fairgrounds or someplace. But if you're coming to Vienna, you need to comply with our regs as well.
Absolutely. And we have an advantage there, Mr. Craig. Yes, thank you. We have an advantage there. Obviously, Julie Green will be hands-on with this as well, and nobody knows the joint land use study and the requirements and everything more than the planning commission director. That's something that we can build, that we can discuss as well. I know maybe our maintenance director is not so familiar with that, but we will get familiar with it very soon, because Vienna is one of the obviously inner circle townships that's in the zone where we need to comply the most with the airbase. So that's something that's definitely doable. I think all the caveats that you brought up, we can adhere to, and I think we can be great neighbors. And as we mentioned, it's going to be a wonderful partnership for Vienna, for Trumbull County, and for Animal Welfare League. So we can discuss that more at the table too, as we get this process started, Phil, for sure. And I appreciate the comments.
I can address his concern.
Okay. Is this Julie Green?
No, it's Amanda Aber,
Oh.
from Warren. The pound is open 8:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday,
Right.
9 to 1 on Saturdays. No pound dog is allowed off a property for walks without prior approval. So we will not be in the neighborhoods, especially with that type of acreage. There's no concern for that. Right now, we stay within a short little dead end road and one play yard. So just to ease his concerns, the lighting and stuff, that's all going to be on their end of things during the planning process. But as far as being off property or hours, that will not be an issue at all.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the current footprint that we have and what we're working with, what's going on there with our very limited small play yard that we have, and out, the not only the structure but the outside that we have to work with is very limited. Just because we're going to be potentially utilizing that other dog park for a facility, there are other dog parks there that we can utilize as well. So there's a beautiful one with a pond. I know Mr. Hotchkiss is on I guess would be the eastern side of the property, that we could, that Laura Lynn mentioned that, this could be perfect for both, obviously. You guys obviously have your separate in the back there, but the potential for development as far as the utilities, everything like that, hookups, drainage, is all there, and it's all very possible. And to have this opportunity where we can share these services only benefits Trumbull County. And this is what we envisioned when I think this is what Animal Welfare League envisioned when they built they envisioned a partnership like this, and a private public partnership between these entities. And those have been shown to work throughout government. They're beneficial to the public. You share resources, you save money, and you maximize the amount of services that you can give. So this is definitely something we're excited about, and we're farther along. I know I've said that before, but we're farther along than we ever have been, and I think this has the most potential to grow. So, Mr. President, I yield the time.
Okay, I agree and concur with everything you're saying, and I think this is great progress. We're getting that much closer.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner. Bill Hart is here from maintenance too, and I'd be remiss if he didn't. He's been here every step of the way, setting up these meetings. He's our buildings and grounds, director, and has been a wealth of knowledge, both about not only maintenance, but just he just knows construction, and he wears so many different hats. Bill, did you want to mention anything?
Thank you.
Well,
Thank commissioners. just want to say thank you, Bill Hart, Maintenance Director. Just thank you. I'm here to make the commissioners happy. I'm here to do my job for you. And if you need something, just ask. And if I can help, by all means, I'll step up to the plate and back.
I just want to clone you. If I can.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Commissioner, looking over, I have a new updated sheet from Mr. Masaki.
Yes,
And I too have a few more items I'd like to send off to the lawyer.
absolutely.
Rather than have him just sit here and not to burden her.
Okay,
She can take her time with it, but at least she has it.
sure.
And these requests to move forward out of the portal. I would like to move forward.
And I had my sheet.
Fowler Township has one on here for a culvert restoration for 30,000. I'd like to move that to legal.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. Gustavus Township, they've got a road widening project, but they also have lumped in this that I overlooked yesterday. Help with their town hall improvements. Their town hall was built in 1890s. And they've got that wrapped in here. So I'd like to move that forward.
Yes. The road project would be difficult, but maybe, you know,
Well,
if
it's
they have
wrapped into one, so I'd put it in the lawyer's hands and let her decide what can and can't go.
Sure.
But I saw that the town
Absolutely.
hall was looped into that, so I want to include that. Also. City of Cortland, they did a presentation with us about their drinking water with some generators that they utilize to move the water through their townships and well field distribution upgrade. I'd like to move
Absolutely.
that forward. See what the
Absolutely.
attorneys say.
Yes.
Okay, and then Vienna Township Police, they have one on here to purchase Mark's radios and communication equipment. About $26,000 bill. I'd like to move that forward.
Absolutely.
And then one final one. They were here yesterday and I didn't want to overlook Bright Energy Innovations here in Warren. They have a pretty big request, but I'd like to move it to legal to see what qualifies and what doesn't. And
Sure.
then we can make a decision after that.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else from the public? Yes, sir.
Mr. Glenn, City of Niles, excuse me. In the news this week, I saw the governor release some money for bridges repairs, and I know a few meetings ago, we allocated 232,000 to inspect all bridges in Trumbull County. If you could, please make sure if there's any spans or bridges that we apply for that money that the governor's putting forward. Thank you for the movement on the animals. We have seen meetings, how passionate the volunteers and the director are. I know, can't remember how long ago, but a private citizen left 200,000 to the pound. Can you? have they used
That's
that
gonna-
for operating expenses or?
That was sort of entrusted or endowed to the county for purposes of either a new facility, paying a lease on a facility, anything to do with the animals in the dog pound. So that's going to go towards this. Absolutely.
Very
Towards the
good.
construction.
I think it's plain to see that Trumbull.
And to even and Bill would concur on this, I believe. I think that you know, we need to do, first of all, we need to do a better job of getting out in the community and because people are passionate about this and they're willing to, a lot of people are willing to put their money where their mouth is when it comes to the animals and helping these animals. So we need to reward a lot of this as far as maybe, you know, and Mr. Hart and I talked about it, but, you know, naming a wing after these people in our facility or plaques, you know, to that extent. So we need to recognize these people that are taking their, you know, not only their time, but their earnings to put towards this facility and put towards the betterment of these animals. So that's something I think that we can discuss along the way as well. So as Animal Welfare League does in their facility, I think that's a wonderful thing that you know, that a certain wing is named after an individual donor and we can do the same thing in our dog pound and generate revenue in that way. And I think a lot of people would be willing to support that cause. So
Absolutely.
just my opinion.
My wife and I just recently.
I saw that.
Louis, my little Louis.
Cute little guy.
He's my boy. Last point I want to say is, I think it's transparently clear that the department heads should get a round of applause. They do a wonderful job. Miss DiVincenzi Bush took over seamlessly. Auditor Yoder, Mr. Biviano gave us so many years of service, and Mrs. Yoder has taken over that job, but also like Madam Clerk, Mr. Hart, they bust their butts for this county.
Sure do.
And I appreciate it as a member of the public.
Thank you for recognizing them.
Okay, I also have, I went out to the fairgrounds 2 days ago. Our Trumbull County Fair is coming up July 11th to the 16th. I'm pretty excited about this year. We've got some major improvements out there. They put the new metal buildings on the roofs. Commissioner Cam Lacey look fantastic. They really jump out at you. The color they picked, kind of a copper brown, it really stands out. When I was out there, they were grading all of the parking areas. So that's going to be done in time for the fair. They're going to be working on the horse barn roofs for the 4-H. And there's a lot of progress out there. There's a buzz out there like I've never seen. Talking to the employees out there, they're pretty excited about the stuff we're doing too. We have a wedding in the church this summer there. And one of my things I'd like to do, Commissioner, is work with the Fair Board to make sure that church gets remodeled so we can have weekly weddings there. It's an old historic church right in the center of the fairgrounds property, perfect for a destination wedding. And my personal goal is I like to see that be a 24/7, 365-day facility where people can come out there, walk their dogs, jog on the track, and utilize the buildings we have out there, with the hopes that someday we have our own event center also, like every other county has. So someone can get married there, have their wedding reception there, have everything from dog shows to gun shows to weddings to banquets at the facility there at the fairgrounds. And I think we're moving in that direction in a good way. But I want to commend the staff there. I also want to put out, they are looking to hire someone in the office there that has a financial background. That position's open or look. So if you've got an agricultural background with, accounting, there is a position open out there at the fair. Barry Brown and his staff out there has been fantastic to work with, and I'm really excited. And here in the office, we are having a county commissioner's booth in the grandstand. And I know we have one every year, and I've seen it before in past years where just kind of, yep, there's a commissioner's booth. And it wasn't much. I'm going to commend the employees in the office. They came with a plan yesterday, and they really want to make this something. And I've seen every employee add input yesterday or today with ideas on how to make our booth better and more accessible to the public, where we can have everything from giveaways to the public to distributing candy and promote all the services we have within Trumbull County. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I encourage everybody to mark on their schedule July 11th to the 16th to come to the county fair and see us personally, give us your input, and be part of helping us move forward together as a community. Also would be remiss if I didn't welcome our 2 new reporters from the Tribune. Congratulations, guys. These are Cleveland State fresh graduates, and they're going to be replacing some dedicated workers that have moved on from the Tribune that we're going to miss. But guys, welcome. Thank you so much, and welcome to our community. We look forward to becoming part of our community and working with you in the future. Anybody else from the crowd? Yes, sir, Mr. Pegg. We just have all this extra time. We might as well just.
All this extra time. No, I'm impressed by you guys. My record was 16 minutes. You did it in 14. So
This is Phil Pegg, Vienna Township trustee again.
that's hard to beat. One of the things I wanted to bring to your attention is today we filed with the clerk a petition for the to prohibit construction of economically sufficient wind farms, large solar facilities in unincorporated areas of Vienna Township. Biggest reason I wanted to bring this to your attention, because I'm sure you're going to want to send this through your legal. So it's in the front office as we speak. This is the same resolution that was provided to the commissioners in Columbiana County and was approved by the Ohio Township Association. So we'd like you to take a look at it and consider it. The other item I have for you is June 15th. The Trumbull County Association for Townships is having our monthly dinner that day. And if you're available, please come, and we'd like you to speak about the ARP funds and give us an update if possible.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
It's always a good one that you guys host. Thank you.
Anybody else from the public? Okay, anybody for the phone lines, hit *6 and announce yourself. Phone listeners, hit *6 and announce yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, it's Amanda Abear again, from Warren, Ohio. I may and or may not have cried a few happy tears when I heard you start talking about an actual lead for the pound. I'm really, really excited that things are finally coming together, and that we're finally going to make this work. This was the biggest step, was just finding land. Now everything is just getting going. I don't know which Jason Cook is also building a facility. I don't know which architect he used. I can ask and let Michelle know, but I think that's the one she had already spoken with. Because he just recently designed, the facility for another shelter. So, we do have options there. And the other thing, like when it comes to like the maintenance on grounds and snow, just be fair, do it 50-50. Don't let these kind of little things ruin a good deal for everyone. So, if you can just go half-seas on everything and make it even, then it works out for everyone. It saves the county money, it saves the AWL money. It all works out. But I'm really excited that everything's moving forward, and really happy.
So,
As I'm
as are
almost
we,
to the
Amanda.
mountain right now.
Yeah. So to address the one issue that you had about Jason, and as we know, in Trumbull County, Jason Cook does an amazing job with the animals. He's a very passionate individual who is another person that we should clone. But Jason is using, just so you know, is using Baker Bednar, who we had used preliminarily 4 or 5 years ago before we made the modest improvements to our structure that we probably shouldn't have, but now we're at this point. But so he is using Baker Bednar. I've looked at his facility. Sometimes Trumbull County doesn't have to reinvent the wheel, in my opinion. I think we can look to what he's done and mimic a lot of that. Because I think, the needs that we have and the needs that he has are going to be similar. But obviously we want to get everybody at the table and go over our needs, our wants. We need to have Michelle there. She has the most obviously firsthand knowledge of what is absolutely necessary in this facility. So we're excited too. We're excited to start this journey. So that's where we're at. Thank you, Amanda.
Okay, Commissioner Camley, also I'd like your permission to move forward with a meeting with officials from the city of Cortland, Farmers National Bank, our health department, and the auditor's office to explore the possibility of the bank building in Cortland purchase. I've received a couple of calls where there was inquiries about us buying the building and leasing some of it to the city of Cortland, then city of Cortland buying it and leasing it to us in the health department. Then we had an option yesterday that was discussed of the health department buying it themselves outright. And then there's also what was brought up to us by the planning commission by Mr. Coggins was maybe the Port Authority can get involved in this, get the building, refurbish it, and then sell, lease, or give it back to the public entities to utilize. I like the idea of the health department being in Cortland, still myself. Right on Main Street, it's accessible. We have 67 employees. Lunch is accessible to take a walk on Main Street. There's a coffee shop. There's food close, and it is accessible to all parts of the county. And one thing to reiterate is people think a bulk of our business with our Trumbull County Health Department comes out of the city of Warren. None of it does. They have their own health department. So most of our business are residents of Niles and Girard and the whole rest of the county. So Cortland is very accessible for that. I know people, the big concern was the bulk is coming out of Warren, and it's absolutely not. So that's a fallacy to dispel. And so I'd like to have a meeting next week with them. If things go well with that, we can come up with some form of plan, then I can bring it to the whole board after that.
Sure.
But I'd still like to entertain that.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I
Sounds
will
good.
do that for next week and get in touch with those entities and see if I can schedule a meeting for that. Anybody else have anything for the good of the county? Okay, I'll entertain a motion, Mauro.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Mr. Cantala Mesa.
Yes.
Mr. Malloy.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.